if you're peeking really close to certain walls, it means that you're at a disadvantage because you're exposing yourself to all of this all at once, right? So you're exposing yourself from here all the way to here in an instant. And if there's an enemy anywhere here, like, you're gonna have to hit a crazy flick to them, but they're also gonna see you quicker. They're gonna see your shoulder before you can see them. Where are we gonna go? Let's push A, let's push A, let's push B, let's push B, right? Or it's gonna be like, let's just sit back and wait for something to happen, right? And a lot of the times, neither of those approaches are going to work. If you find information like this throughout the video helpful, make sure to check out the full Valorant Competitive Fundamentals course in my Patreon link down in the description below. Basically, it's information just like it is throughout this video, except for over a full hour. You guys seem to really like my other video of fundamental Valorant tips, so today I'm going to be bringing you 5 more. So in this first tip, we're going to be talking about how you should be unpredictable whenever you're defending, especially as a duelist, but also as any character, like, for example, a sentinel. So let's go ahead and I'm going to give you guys an example here. Let's say that we're fighting a main as Jet, and we get 1, 2, or 3 kills here. And pretty much straight away, the enemies lose the round. They just all die to our teammates, and the round's over, right? So just for a second, I want you to imagine that you're the enemy attackers, and that we come here, and we're all dying super quickly, right? The round's just over. What they're going to do, kind of as they respawn the next round, automatically, is going to be to go toward B. So... and the reason they want to do this is because they want to psychologically distance themselves from A main very quickly, right? And so you can take advantage of this, but my main point here is you don't want to be constantly going toward A just because you're thinking, oh, I need to defend A, I need to defend A, right? You want to be thinking, what are the enemies thinking, right? They just got slaughtered in A main, they're probably going to go toward B. So you're going to have some rationale behind why you're going to swap toward B, right? So next round, you might come up here, you might look for a little peek, and then you know you have the read on them. The main thing here though, guys, is make sure that you're not just constantly rotating for no reason. You need to have a rationale behind why you do it. So I coach this sometimes, and then people are like, I'm swapping around every round, is that good? And it's like, yeah, that is actually better than most people, but you want to have a reason for like, why are you going mid this round, or like, why are you playing here instead of just like going A B A B A B, or like just going around literally every part of the map every single round for having no reason, right? Market's a great spot to defend from here if we want to kind of hold this, because it allows us to rotate a little more easily. So for example, if we're playing A but we're not 100% sure if they're going to come B, but we still think they might come B, we can kind of defend from here and then hold something like this. This is a really strong spot. But if they aren't here, we can rotate much more quickly, right? We can kind of get out compared to if we're all the way up right here. So that's a really good alternative. And if you guys just want to take a fight, you know, it's okay to kind of walk up mid as a duelist and fight like this. Alright guys, so in this tip, I'm going to be teaching you how to properly position yourself and peek whenever there's a wall between you and your enemy. So the first thing I want you to notice is this white outline, which is considered my vision cone. It's basically where you can see on the minimap. And it's just helpful for me to demonstrate this. So I want you guys to notice the vision cone whenever I peek out from the wall here, whenever I'm really close to the wall, right? So right now I'm really close to the wall, I'm peeking out. Notice how quickly that this vision cone is appearing. Now I'm going to take a step back, and I'm gonna peek, and I want you guys to notice how slowly this appears, right? Look, notice how much more gradually this appears. Basically, guys, what I want you to realize here is if you're peeking really close to certain walls, it means that you're at a disadvantage because you're exposing yourself to all of this all at once, right? So you're exposing yourself from here all the way to here in an instant. And if there's an enemy anywhere here, like, you're gonna have to hit a crazy flick to them, but they're also gonna see you quicker. They're gonna see your shoulder before you can see them. Whereas if you peek from back here, you have much more control about what you're wanting to fight. So if you want to fight specifically up here, you can peek like this, right? Or if you want to fight down here, you can peek specifically down here. And also noticing that this vision cone matches that. So that's why you want to peek like this. Another example of this is in somewhere like B main. So if you're peeking, in the last video I taught you how to slice the pie. So you kind of want to slice the pie. But you don't want to do it up close to the wall, right? We don't need to be like all the way back. You don't need to be like super far back. You can just be kind of in the middle a little bit, and it'll be good enough. Because again, notice how whenever I do it right here, I'm exposing myself to way more than I actually want to be exposed to. What if I do it back here? I can just kind of just see what I want to see, right? I can bite off what I can chew and not expose myself to too much. And kind of tying in those two tips together. So guys, in summary, make sure you're not hugging a wall whenever you peek. So here guys, I'm going to be teaching you what the optimal weapons to buy are after you win first round or in a bonus round. And most of you probably currently are buying weapons like the Stinger, the Spectre, or the Judge. And don't get me wrong, these weapons are very, very good. but the problem is they're not as good as some weapons can be. So you're kind of limiting yourself in some ways, and you're also kind of autopiloting to buy these weapons, which I've also done in the past. But the number one weapon that I'd recommend on a bonus round after you've won first round is going to be the Guardian. The Guardian with something like light armor or heavy armor if you can afford it, but light armor is completely fine, especially if you're on a duelist with some abilities, is really good because one, you can double body shot people or headshot people during bonus rounds, and it's very easy kills, either from medium or far range. And the really good thing about the Guardian is after you guys win the second round and the whole enemy team has Phantoms or Vandals, you're actually going to stand a fighting chance against them at longer distances, right? Whereas with the weapon like a Stinger, obviously this is going to be a lot harder to do, even though you guys don't have armor, but it's going to be a lot harder to take fights against people who have Vandals or Phantoms from this range. So that's why something like the Guardian is really strong. Another weapon I would recommend is going to be the Marshal. You can use the Marshal with like a Sheriff or a Shorty, but this weapon's really good against no armor because you can just body shot, and it's going to be really easy to get those kills on the bonus round. And the cool thing about the Marshal is you also stand a chance the next round whenever they have Vandals, but you're going to have to hit headshots because they will have armor that round, right? So it's going to be a little bit harder, but it's again something that allows you, it has a high skill ceiling that can do a lot of damage from far range, even if you're don't have any other weapons, right? I'm going to be teaching you how you should optimally be approaching attack as a duelist or just in general. And the reason that I want to do this is because I think most people in pretty much a lot of ranks their approach to attacking is very black or white. So it's like, okay guys, where are we going to go? Let's push A, let's push A, let's push B, let's push B, right? Or it's going to be like, let's just sit back and wait for something to happen, right? And a lot of the times, neither of those approaches are going to work. And sometimes they will, right? Sometimes those are going to work because you're going to either push in and just destroy, or you're going to wait and the enemies are just going to be really, really aggressive. But what happens whenever you push and you can't take control of a site, or you're sitting back and nobody's pushing and they're just waiting, right? So there's actually a middle ground, which is going to be what I like to call looking for an opening, or just looking for the opening kill around the map. And on Ascent, something that's really great to do is coming here on Cat, and then again, not peeking too close to the wall, peeking far away like this, and then kind of slicing the pie and slowly kind of clearing, making sure they're not up here. And let's just say that we get a kill like right here. We get the kill. What we can do then as a duelist, we can say, let's go A to our team, and we flash in here. We're clearing quickly, because the reason we want to go quickly is because the enemies are going to be kind of rotating, whether they're either in B or toward like middle. They're going to be rotating, so we want to go quickly, right? And then we're going to take control of site, and we're going to help our team get control of the site. But because we got that kill, it completely opens up an entire way that we can push that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to do if we were just like, oh, let's push A main, or oh, let's just sit back and wait for them to push. Pushing up Cat like that is really great. You want to do it while shift walking, and if they allow you, you'd want to walk like all the way up to like here and see if you can get a kill here. And if you're in here, you might as well keep going. There's a good chance you can actually get behind them if they let you all the way up here without anyone seeing you. But just keep in mind that's not going to work every single round, because once you do that one time, they're going to start to become slowly aware of it. Another thing I really like to do is kind of walking up mid, so slowly kind of clearing this and just kind of walking up, waiting to see if anyone's going to peek me here, clearing this corner. Then eventually someone might peek you here, you kill them, you find the opening. I'm just giving you an example there, like we kill them, we get the opening there, we say, okay guys, what do you want to do? And even if we don't kill someone there and we're walking up here, look how much control we have. We have full control of all of this. We can even walk up into B. Our team can come B if we ask our team to go B. And we just have so much control from mid. It's going to be hard for us to not be able to take this unless we're just whiffing everything. Additionally, you can walk up to here and you can cut someone off and spawn like this, or you can even keep going. Like, this is just how you want to play. A lot of the time, though, you're going to find someone a lot earlier in the round, like from here. You're not going to be able to make it all the way up there, but when you do, just kind of know that there are still really effective things that you can do. For the final tip, I'm going to be talking about entry pathing here on Ascent A site, but also understand that on all maps, there is an optimal way to entry as a duelist or as anyone. But there are variations of this entering, which I'll be showing you an example of that here on A site. One thing is, make sure that whenever you're entering, if you're not going, unless you're going like super fast and you guys are just running it from all the way back here, make sure you're kind of slowly clearing this out. Make sure there's not someone like holding you from here or holding you from here, because if you just kind of run out here like this and they just shoot you, obviously that's bad. So make sure we're kind of waiting to see if anyone's wanting to shoot us from any of these spots. And if they are, obviously just try to kill them, and if you kill them, then you can entry. But if you're sitting here and there's no one peeking, after a few seconds, you can just go and entry. So the way that I like to entry here is flash, clear. With the flash, you have like a window to kind of come in. Make sure you're kind of clearing these areas here. And then once you're at the door, let me just do that one more time for you guys. So you throw up high a flash, you run out, you kind of clear the corners, you come up to here, make sure you're looking here, make sure back gen, no one's there, but you're going to want to hit the switch. That's the main thing you want to do here. You hit the switch, and one way you can do this is kind of just wait, because sometimes people will try to come through the smoke, especially if this is smoked, or come through the door, especially if this is smoked. Another thing I like to do is after I've run out, so you flash, wait for the flash to pop, clear these, hit the door, and then kind of you actually can run through or just walk through, especially if there's a smoke. People are not going to be able to always read this unless you're in a super high rank. And you can kind of come up to the window here and then swing if there's anyone here. If the window's not broken, you can shoot it and kill them here, and this is a really strong strategy to do. But mainly, guys, you want to be hitting the switch, and if you think there's more people site, help your team fight site, and that's going to be really good. The way you want to entry on B site is you're doing essentially the same thing. Like, you're going to kind of walk up here, make sure no one's peeking you, and then you're going to go ahead and throw a flash, right? You can kind of clear to the right, clear to the left. This stuff should be getting smoked as you're coming out too, or before you come out. You just kind of hit the switch. You don't have to be looking at it, and then you're just going to hold the door for a second while it's smoked, hold here, and then you can either help clear sight from here and take control of the site and help clear back sight, or you can position, and one of my favorite spots is you're going to be right here and you kind of hold like this. The reason this is good, guys, is because whenever we're positioned here, we take a lot of control. We're holding a lot of control, right? Whereas if we're all just kind of sitting in the back of site or on site, it gives up a lot of control, and it allows the enemy team to come from here, here, and kind of all just overwhelm us, which is really not going to be great. But if we're sitting here, and don't get it twisted, guys, this doesn't mean you want to run into spawn and just swing and peek. What I'm saying is we're sitting in a spot where they have to respect and clear, which is going to slow them down, right, before they're actually able to make it to the spike and defuse. So hopefully this video made sense. If you guys like my fundamental Valorant tips, please let me know in the comments. I'll definitely make some more of them, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.